Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech, and in this video, I'll be unboxing and doing a quick hands-on review of the Asus ROG Phone 5. In India, Asus has launched this phone in two variants. Base variant is priced at 50,000 rupees for 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. Next variant is priced at 58,000 rupees for 12GB of RAM and 256GB of storage. This phone is available in two colors, black and white. We have the 12GB variant in the white color with us right now. Besides the regular ROG Phone 5, Asus is also going to be launching ROG Phone 5 Pro at 70,000 rupees for 16GB of RAM and 512GB of storage with a phantom black color and rare capacitive triggers. They are also launching the ROG Phone 5 Ultimate at 80,000 rupees for 18GB of RAM and 512GB of storage. It comes in storm white color with a matte finish and with the same rare capacitive triggers along with some other changes. Now the main highlight for this phone would be literally everything. Like, this phone is really the pinnacle of everything that you can expect from a true flagship. It's got the best processor, Snapdragon 888, with the best Samsung's AMOLED panel with a 144Hz refresh rate, bigger battery, faster charging speeds, and it's a complete gaming phone which gives you some extra air triggers at the top and an extra charging port at the bottom, along with a lot of customization in terms of software and hardware to give you the best gaming experience. So if you're someone who loves to play a lot of games, then you can definitely consider this as your dream phone. So without any further delays, let's have a quick unboxing. So here's the box. It's completely in black and has a minimalistic design, just some branding and logo. Once we open the flap, surprisingly we have a comic book panel. I guess this is the first time in an unboxing experience. Anyway, first we have a smaller box. Next we have the phone itself. Next we have the fast charger with a max output of 30 watts. And finally we have the USB Type-C charging cable. Now inside the small box we get some stickers, a hard bumper case which looks pretty cool. Pretty similar to the previous case that we got with the ROG Phone 4. Now coming back to the phone, let me just remove the cover. So this is how the phone looks on the front and this is how the phone looks on the back. Now let's have a physical overview. On the back, this phone has a plastic glass panel with a pretty cool pattern underneath, along with an LED light for the ROG logo. At the top, we have the camera module with a triple camera setup, along with a single LED flash and the extra microphone. On the front, we have a huge display protected by 2.5D curved glass without any kinds of notch. Bezels at the top and bottom are pretty huge considering the price and the trends. But this phone has dual front-firing speakers, which is something you won't find on other phones. So I guess you can compromise in terms of design. Now for the sides, on the right side we have just the power and volume buttons made of metal. They also have a nice blue accent color. They are made of metal, they have a nice clicky feel to them, and they are sufficiently elevated. At the top it's completely plain. On the left side we have the secondary USB charging port, followed by another port for accessories, and finally the SIM card tray with dual nano SIM support. At the bottom we have just the USB Type-C charging port and the audio jack. Now this phone has a thickness of 10.2 mm and weighs 238 grams. Initial impressions, yes, it feels thicker and it's also on the heavier side, but if you are really into gaming, this is something you really have to compromise. Now this is how the phone looks with the case on. It's just a plastic hard bumper case. It doesn't offer you a lot of protection, but can give you some grip. That's all. If you're really worried about dropping your phone, I would definitely recommend you to get a better case. Now these are the complete specifications of this phone. On the rear, this phone has a triple camera setup with a 64 megapixel primary camera with f1.8 aperture, Sony IMX686 sensor. That's followed by a 13 megapixel ultra wide angle camera with 125-degree field of view and a 5 megapixel macro camera with f2.0 aperture. For selfies, you get a 24 megapixel camera with f2.0 aperture. On the front, it has a 6.78-inch Super AMOLED display with Full HD Plus resolution with 144Hz refresh rate in 20.4:9 aspect ratio. It also has HDR10 Plus support and the brightness ranges from 5 nits to 800 nits. It is also protected by a 2.5D curved Corning Gorilla Glass Victus. Now when it comes to performance, this phone sports the Snapdragon 888 processor with Adreno 660 GPU with up to 12GB of LPDDR5 RAM with up to 256GB of UFS 3.1 storage. Right out of the box, it will be running ROG UI based on Android 11. When it comes to battery, it sports a 6000 mAh battery, supports up to 65 watts of fast charging. But inside the box we get ROG Hypercharge Quick Charge 4.0 with a maximum output of 30 watts. This phone also has 7 magnetic stereo front-firing speakers along with 5G support and Wi-Fi 6. We also have 8 triggers 5 with multi-input motion gestures for enhanced gaming experience. For better cooling, it has a large graphite cooling pad, a copper 3D vapor chamber, a complete aluminum frame design, and finally, another large graphite cooling pad on the back. If you are really into gaming, you can also get an additional accessory to enhance the external cooling, which can reduce the surface temperature up to 15 degrees and CPU temperature up to 10 degrees. You also get some extra functionality with this accessory. This phone also has a pretty good haptic engine, which you really have to use to appreciate it. And finally, this phone still retains the squeeze gesture feature, where you can squeeze your phone to trigger Google Assistant. Well, these are not the complete specifications, there are still a lot of stuff this phone really offers. Anyway, now let me turn on the phone and set it up and come back to you in a second. Now while I've been setting up the phone, I found something really interesting. It shows something related to the comic panel on the box. So just follow the instructions. Let's select the phone package type. Now it's asking me to open the comic panel. Now tap to continue. It'll ask for Armory creates AR permission. Just grant that. Now once you scan the comic panel, we can see a small video playback in that comic panel. It's a pretty cool feature. Now finally, when you go to the final panel, we get a quick start button to start playing the game. I'll stop it here. You can experience it when you get the phone. Now this is how the phone looks once we turn it on. This is how the general user interface looks like. This is the home screen, app drawer, and here's the notification panel. Now let's check the about page. So this phone is running ROG UI based on Android 11 with the March security patch. As for the storage, out of that 256GB of space, we get about 240GB of space for our user apps and user data. Out of that 16GB of RAM, we get about 8.6GB of RAM free right out of the box. Now let's look at the camera interface. This is the default interface. We have the regular modes like the video mode, time-lapse, slow motion on the left side, portrait, panorama, and more on the right side. Now this is the camera interface for the front camera. Looks pretty similar to the rear camera as well. Not many options over here. Now these are some sample shots. Now let's test the in-display fingerprint scanner. Here we go. It's super fast and the haptic feedback you get every time you unlock the phone is also pretty good. Now let's test the face unlock feature. In good lighting conditions, it's super fast, unlocks almost instantaneously. In low lighting conditions, it's fast, unlocks in less than a second. And in complete darkness, it's more of a hit or a miss. Most of the time it doesn't work. Anyway, I'll be using the fingerprint scanner more, so I don't think it's going to be a big deal, especially when it is completely dark. Anyway, now let's test the speakers. This phone has dual front-firing speakers, and here's a quick audio preview. So guys, this is how the dual stereo front-firing speakers sound. They are really loud, they are really great for media consumption, whether it's for gaming or for watching videos or TV shows. Now let's check the 8 triggers. Just like the ROG Phone 4, we have the 8 triggers, we have the regular 8 triggers, and we also have split 8 triggers where we get 2 buttons on either side. And besides that, we also have the new motion control settings where you can do gestures with your phone to perform actions. Like you can tilt your phone front or back, tilt left or right, to perform some actions. You definitely need some more time to get used to it, but once you get a hang of it, you might be able to step up your gaming. Now before I conclude this video, these are the benchmark scores. So guys, this is the new ROG Phone 5. It's definitely the best gaming phone that you can get in the market, and it's definitely the best gaming phone that you can ask for. It literally has everything is balanced out, you have the best performance, best display, you also have extra features like the 8 triggers, and you can also add in accessories to improve your overall gaming experience. So if you're truly a gamer who loves to play a lot of games on your phone, then this would definitely be your dream phone. Or at least for me. So guys, what do you think about this phone? Do let me know by commenting below this video. If you're planning to buy this phone, use the link in the description. It always helps the channel. With that said, see you in my next video. This is Nikhil signing off.